3 weeks after the rather dull Miami Grand Prix, we had a barnstormer of a Grand Prix weekend in Canada, in Montreal. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Let's dive into the good, the bad and the ugly of the Canadian Grand Prix. So, in the meantime, Max Verstappen went to the Nürburgring and participated in the 24 hours of the Nürburgring. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to finish the race. Back to Formula One. The good, Kimi Antonelli. He's 19 years old and this was his 4th victory in a row. Lewis Hamilton. It seems like he finally has arrived at Ferrari and clicks with the car, with the people, with the engineering team on his side of the garage. And it was a brilliant fight with Max Verstappen at the end there and gave him a second place finish, which is awesome. Which brings us to Max Verstappen, who had a fantastic race as well. Great fight at the end with Lewis Hamilton, although he lost that fight and only came in 3rd, but still, great race. Sure, he benefited from a few others having missteps, but still. Isaac Hadjar, or rather the second Red Bull. Even though Isaac Hadjar got like multiple penalties throughout the race, it was still for the first time in ages that the second Red Bull car finished in the top 5. Alpine, very contrary to my preseason prediction, they are having a really good season so far. They brought both cars into the points this time after having a great race last time out in Miami. So that was fantastic. Williams, they had a fantastic race in Miami with both cars in the points. And this time, yeah, sure, Alex Albon got taken out. We don't know what he would have done. But still, they got Carlos Sainz into the points, which is great to see. I really would like them more consistently up there. And overall, the fighting and the action, constant overtakes and re-overtakes, and contrary to the previous races, it wasn't limited to the first half of the race. It went on throughout the race, especially up front. The bad, Kimi Antonelli. Even though I just mentioned him in the good part, and him having his 4th victory in a row is fantastic, this was another race, another weekend where you saw, oh, this kid is just a teenager after all. Because his constant complaining on the radio, his constant fighting with George Russell, even though the fighting itself was good, but he was very aggressive, in parts too aggressive, and they are both lucky that he didn't take them both out at some point in either the sprint race or the main race. Which also brings us to George Russell. Poor guy. It wasn't any fault of his own. His car broke down. He had bad luck in the previous races with safety cars and whatnot, but this time it was the car. And yeah, you could see he threw his headrest out the car. Yeah, that was not good. And by now he's 43 points behind his teammate. The best thing George Russell can hope now is that the other teams are catching up and challenging for wins seriously, like McLaren and Ferrari and Red Bull, and more consistently challenging for wins so that Kimi Antonelli can't run away with this. And he has a chance to get more points. Still, the gaps between cars. Yeah, it's early in the new regulation, so big differences are to be expected, but all but I think 4 cars had been lapped, and some of them in the back had been lapped multiple times. I think one of the Cadillacs was back 4 laps. And the ugly. Well, just mention them real quick. Aston Martin, Cadillac are still down here. Even though Cadillac managed to get into near the top 10 in the sprint race, which was great. McLaren, what on earth was happening there? From the tire choice in the beginning to taking out Alex Albon by Oscar Piastri, and then Lando Norris' car broke down, and all the gains they had made, all the strides they had made in Miami were just gone in Canada, which allowed the Mercedes to run away with it until George Russell's car broke down. Sure, but still, This would have been a 1-2 for Mercedes had George Russell's car not broken down, and they had won by a they would have won by a country mile. So yeah, they all need to do better next time. What did you think of the Canadian Grand Prix? Let me know down below in the comments. Well, the next race is in Monaco in 2 weeks' time, and I am actually expecting this to be rather boring. It had been the past few years, although Monaco was also basically the site of the greatest race ever in Formula One, which I witnessed. It was 1996 in Monaco, but that's 30 years ago. Anyways, this will be rather dull because despite the fact that the cars are better at following each other and are better at overtaking, it's still Monaco. It's still flying a helicopter in your living room. So qualifying will be hugely important, even more so than before, because this will basically, outside of reliability issues, determine the order in which the cars finish the race, in my opinion. Maybe it is time to think about dropping Monaco off the calendar. Make sure you are subscribed so that you won't miss any Formula One content in the future. And go to my channel to check out plenty more other content about car racing, motorsport, and vintage cars. And I'll see you in the next one.